In the modern office, there exists a species of task known as the priority. Once, long ago, a company would have one. A single, agreed-upon, most important thing. The tribe would gather around it, protect it, deliver it. That era is over. Today, we observe a workplace in which every project, without exception, has been declared mission-critical. And we will attempt to understand how that happened and why nobody can stop it. Why every project is mission-critical. Welcome back to the Workplace Satirist. Today, a phenomenon so common you have stopped noticing it, the day everything became an emergency and nothing got done. To understand the crisis, we must return to a more innocent time. Here is a project, just one. It has a deadline, a real one, and the humans respect it. Observe the calm, the focus, the quiet dignity of a team that knows exactly what matters. It is frankly beautiful. But nature abhors a single priority. Because somewhere, in a meeting you were not invited to, an executive said the 4 most dangerous words in corporate history. This is our top priority. A reasonable sentence. The problem is, he said it on Monday, about the dashboard. Then again on Tuesday, about the rebrand. Then Wednesday, about the offsite, the hiring plan, the Q3 pivot, the new coffee vendor. By Friday, the company had 9 top priorities, a phrase that, if you think about it for even a moment, cannot possibly mean anything at all. But no one thinks about it for a moment. That is the first rule of the workplace. There is, of course, a ritual designed to address this. It is called the Priority Alignment Meeting. In it, the team reviews which of the 9 priorities is most important this week, a question that implies someone has given this serious thought. They have not. What actually happens is 40 minutes of careful negotiation, followed by a group consensus that all 9 priorities remain equally critical, and a shared commitment to keep an eye on bandwidth. The priorities do not change, only the meeting recurs. Next week, same time. What follows is a process economists would recognize instantly: inflation. When every project is labeled important, the word important loses all purchasing power, so a bolder currency is printed. High priority, then urgent, in capital letters, which is how you know it is serious, then the exclamation point, then 2, and finally the reserve currency of corporate panic itself, mission critical. A phrase borrowed from spaceflight, from missions where, if the project failed, people would actually die. Here, it means the slide is due Thursday. Watch what happens to a single, humble task under this pressure. Someone needs to change the font on one slide, from Arial to something more premium. It begins its life as a quick fix. By the end of this episode, it will have a countdown clock, a dedicated Slack channel, and the personal attention of the Chief Executive Officer. The font, for the record, will not change. A preliminary review is commissioned to assess the font landscape. 3 stakeholders are identified. A steering committee is formed. The committee disagrees about whether this is a brand decision or a design decision and schedules a separate meeting to resolve the question of which team owns the question of the font. That meeting produces no decision. It does produce a follow-up. The follow-up is, naturally, marked mission critical. The original slide, at this point, has not been touched. It is simply being discussed at scale. Now the ecosystem turns competitive. Because here is what every employee eventually learns. A project that is not labeled critical simply starves. It receives no resources, no meetings, no love. It sits in a backlog, aging quietly, until it is archived with the dignity of a houseplant nobody remembered to water. So teams adapt. They begin labeling their own work mission critical, purely in self-defense. Marketing declares its newsletter mission critical. Not to be outdone, legal declares the newsletter's disclaimer mission critical. Finance declares a spreadsheet mission critical. Someone in IT declares the migration of the spreadsheet mission critical. Observe the dashboard. Once it used red sparingly, a warning, a rare alarm. Now every row is red, every ticket is a P0. The color coding system, designed to help humans distinguish the urgent from the trivial, now communicates exactly one thing. Everything, all of it, right now, which is to say nothing. And here we arrive at the strange, quiet heart of the phenomenon. When everything is an emergency, the emergency becomes the weather. The humans stop running. The adrenaline, once reserved for genuine crises, simply flattens out. A mission-critical alert now lands with all the urgency of a calendar reminder for someone else's birthday. Watch this manager forward an email with a single word added at the top: urgent. The body of the email is a lunch menu. No one reacts. They have seen the boy cry wolf so many times that the wolf has unionized and taken a desk in the corner. This is the great paradox of priority inflation. The more critical everything becomes, the calmer everyone gets. Not because the work is done, but because panic, sustained indefinitely, is simply exhausting, and so it evaporates. The building is technically always on fire. The humans have simply learned to work around the flames. Consider what this does to the concept of triage. Triage was invented to help humans facing genuine emergencies decide what to treat first. It assumes that not everything can be treated simultaneously, that some things are more urgent than others. The workplace has found a workaround. Rather than triage, which requires judgment, hierarchy, and difficult choices, it simply declares everything equally critical. The result is not triage. It is the careful, efficient elimination of triage as a concept. Which brings us to a single remarkable individual. While his colleagues escalate, re-escalate, and war room a font, this man has achieved something close to enlightenment. He understood, earlier than anyone, that if every project is mission-critical, then the phrase carries no information whatsoever, and a rational creature does not respond to noise. So each morning, he surveys the 47 flaming P0s and calmly selects the one task he personally finds least unpleasant. He does that one, well, and then he goes home. His colleagues call this disengagement. Organizational psychologists call it presenteeism. Wally calls it Thursday. He has calculated, without a spreadsheet, without a meeting, and without once using the phrase bandwidth, that in a system where all priorities are equal, the rational response is to have exactly one of your own, his. His secret is not laziness, it is comprehension. He is the only person in the building who actually read the definition of the word priority, a word which, in the singular, means the one thing that comes first. It was never meant to have a plural. He keeps his mug close, he keeps his standards low, and he is, by a wide margin, the most productive person in the company. So the next time your inbox informs you that a task is mission critical, take a breath. Look closely and ask the only question that matters. Critical to what mission exactly? You will not get an answer, there isn't one. Because in the modern workplace, mission critical is no longer a measure of importance. It is simply a greeting. The font, by the way, was never changed. It didn't need to be. This has been the Workplace Satirist. Now, if you'll excuse me, everything is on fire, and I have chosen to do nothing about it. If this felt a little too familiar, you know what to do.